Hello, my astrology friends and family. This is Lada from astrolada.com, and we're here with the world prognosis from Sidereal Astrology, Trifon Nikolov. Very anticipated reading always of him. He always does it after the new moon. So it is going to be for most of July and for the beginning of August till the next new moon. So hello, Trifon. What are the stars holding for us?
Hello, everybody. Of course, as always, I wonder where to begin from. Many things will happen this month, but let's try to summarize like the main model. Right now, from the point of view of the ancient sidereal way, the way of the creators of astrology, the sidereal astrology, most of the planets are in their own signs, which is very positive, of course, for most of us. So what I mean, for instance, Venus is right now in Gemini, in Taurus, sorry. Venus is in Taurus. Mercury is also in Gemini, my ruling planet, so that's why I mentioned Gemini first. So, of course, we have also Saturn in Capricorn, Jupiter in Pisces, and the new thing is Mars is also in Aries. So this means 5 planets in their own respective signs. This is positive for everybody, especially for the ascendants ruled by those signs, which are all the ascendants except Cancer and Leo and ascendants. So all the people except those having Cancer and Leo ascendants, this is in sidereal, which means Leo and Virgo in the tropical Western astrology. So all those people are having generally mostly better time, more opportunities, feeling better, more independent, and so on. And in general, those good trends are for the most of the month. Let's mention for each of the planets what is the situation. So Venus will stay in her own sign and will leave first her own sign on 13th of July, after 8 days from today. So people who have ascendant Libra or Taurus in sidereal, or Scorpio or Gemini in tropical, they're having better time generally. And especially for things related to finances and relationships, of course, and health, even health. Then Mercury is staying in Gemini. I think it was till 17th, yes, till 17th of July when he enters Cancer. Until then, all the people who are having the Sun maybe in Gemini or Virgo, or the Ascendant there, even the Moon there. So this is in sidereal, and of course this is Cancer and Libra in tropical Western astrology. Most of the cases, like 90%. So they also will benefit from Mercury, like better social life, traveling, intellectual activity, if they are related to trade also. And however, 17th of July and everything changes. This is for Mercurian type. For Venus, you already know. And I'm drawing in this way the change that is happening this month for everybody, because we're going from very, very the most like positive trend possible to different trend. So, so when it's not the best, it's something else. Yeah. So not necessarily something bad, right? We will check this. And Mars is in its own sign also. Mars will be there, however, longer. Mars is in Aries till 11th, 12th of August. Depends where you live. And so people who have Aries ascendant or even Scorpio, and also people who have the sun there, they will have like more energy. They're more like probably able to achieve victory in something, or to overcome difficulties and so on. But also, of course, it will be a very active time, sometimes involving conflicts, but mostly with positive results for them, right? Not for everybody. So, however, of course, this is only from the point of view of the ascendants. So in Sidereal, Aries and Scorpio, but in tropical, it is Taurus and Sagittarius. So Aries is activated. This has importance also about the military actions that are happening in certain parts of the world. They are, of course, much more intense. Mars is in his throne. And this is at least till 12th of August. And of course, Jupiter and Saturn, they remain in their signs for the entire year ahead. So people who have ascendants ruled by either Jupiter or Saturn, they are in general having better years. With the one condition that if someone has Capricorn ascendant and Saturn will cross it, then it will be a little different for a time. But people who have Capricorn and Aquarius ascendants, which are Aquarius and Pisces in tropical, or people who have Pisces and Sagittarius ascendants, who are Aries and Capricorn in tropical astrology, they have more successful times, better years.
Mostly?
And this will remain for the entire year, like this.
They have mostly what?
Better years compared to other years. So depends.
Can I just mention that Trifon is offering a discount again for 2 readings, the 12 months ahead reading and his financial reading, because he told me do the financial reading on discount because something financial is coming. So I'm looking forward to hear what it is. I mean, it's happening, it's been happening, the financial things, but I want to hear from your perspective.
Okay, so let's mention the financial topic. So the thing is that, as I mentioned, Mars is in Aries, but inevitably Mars will move into the next sign. Let's give a warning earlier than later. And the next sign is no other sign but the sign of finances, which is Taurus. And this time Mars will stay there a really, really long time. What I mean, he will enter there around 12th of August and will stay with some short break end of October, beginning of November. Will stay till 20th of March, 8 months. So we'll have Mars, the destroyer, the spender of a lot of money, and the planet that can move everything, including the markets, entering the financial sign of Taurus, 12th of August, and this can be felt immediately, of course, when he enters. That's why we will be living in even more interesting times from financial point of view.
A lot of
So,
bankruptcies possible.
so yes, many things are possible, but the main fears are about recession.
No, we are in a recession. There's such
Yes,
inflation.
but Mars can intensify all those processes, definitely, like much greater spending, which can mean higher inflation, for instance. There are
No,
stabilizing factors, Jupiter and Saturn in their signs, which will be helping, but still the influence of Mars will be, because it's a malefic planet, we cannot expect from him to do mostly good about the finances. I think it will make people to work harder for their money, at least. Mars is the planet of energy, in the sign of finances. Working harder, spending more are things that can be expected for everybody. And this is to put it in the most simple way, how it can be described. And of course, this means probably inflation and recession. So
many people asking me about crypto. I don't understand much from it. What do you think about crypto?
oh God, okay. Even like the billionaires like Bill Gates are joking about crypto. But what to say? My opinion is that if crypto exists, so there is a reason. If it's not a material reason, it's something else. Of course, crypto reflects the need of freedom, in this case, as a digital tool related with the age of Aquarius, the sign of freedom and progress. So I think that it has its place, obviously. But as Aquarius is related, it can be as unpredictable as the modern planet Uranus, I guess. Of course, when Mars enters Taurus, Mars will move everything, including the markets that are right now very much synchronized. I mean, the price and condition of cryptocurrencies are much related with the condition of the markets. They are synchronized. So there can, let's just say, there will be more turbulences about that. As Mars is actually in Taurus in, let's say, challenging aspect to Aquarius. So I cannot say that the condition of the prices of either cryptocurrencies or everything that is related to new technologies will be very stable. Like the producing of chips necessary for the cars, computers, and so on. Obviously, still there will be some issues. And so this is like just like general look what Mars in Taurus can do. He can do a lot this time, and mostly because when he stays so long. So he stays usually in one sign like around 2 months, 2.5, depends on his speed. But this time, 8 months. 8 months. This is like Jupiter or Saturn. So Mars becomes like Jupiter or Saturn, like very influential, extremely influential, and however expressing his nature of conflicts, troubles, in the case of finances, much spending and much efforts to gain. So everybody must be like ready to put more efforts in order to gain, and maybe also even to risk more, to invest more sometimes. Everybody, depending on their condition, will make their own conclusions according to the specific situation. But Mars in Taurus is not really good for the financial market or the banks, for instance. So, but this is in the future, right? This is not this month. But through this month, we approach this position of Mars because Mars will enter in the first half of August there. And there will be some early signs about it. So let's continue with the positive trend, which is happening right now. So, as you can see, till the middle of the month is really good. So everybody can use this time either for beginning of new projects that in the future will be successful, or just everybody can just plan their vacation to happen very soon. This is my advice. The next 10-15 days are the best for everything.
Squeeze out as much as possible.
For everything, whatever you want to try, either it's whether it's a relationship or trip or business project, whatever it is. Right now, all the planets are strong.
What would you say about the triple conjunction of Mars, North Node, Rahu, and Uranus in tropical Taurus and Sidereal Aries, which is coming at the end of the month, the start of August?
So
this is the look of Saturn.
let's okay. You have like dangerous questions always. Like you are like interested in the more turbulent side of things. But okay, so first, definitely this conjunction plays on and steps on the biggest fears that we can have in the ongoing war. You know, the fear is that there will be a nuclear crisis. I already warned and predicted years ago about nuclear crisis similar to the Cuban crisis. This is exactly what's happening. And Mars, Uranus, and the nodes, they're all related to this type of energy. The conjunction may only intensify the probability of accidents with nuclear energy, or let's hope not, the desires of crazy people to use them. So let's hope there will be no critical situation of this sort, because if it will be, as in other years with this quality, as I described earlier in other videos, this is a year when such things can happen, no matter if it is intentional or not. So we already had a lot of situations, so let's hope this is it, because bombs falling on nuclear facilities, this already happened. Battles on the territory of those places also. Let's hope no more. But as right now we are still in this time frame, if you remember the lunar eclipse that happened like more than a month ago, the meaning of this eclipse in the ancient texts was earthquakes, hurricanes, and really bad weather. So having in mind, for instance, the nuclear accident that happened in Fukushima long ago, not so long actually, 9 years, it happened in relation to such things. So we can only watch now. I guess this conjunction will be related to the forces of nature. Let's hope there will be no like big hurricanes, big mighty and powerful earthquakes, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible, definitely. And of course, when Uranus and Mars and the nodes unite, there can be all kinds of accidents happening around those days.
Thank you.
So, when exactly are those days? Of course, in the end of the month, it is approaching. So the exact conjunction is like 31st of July, 1st of August. Everybody, people who are related to Mars or Uranus, a little bit more modern approach in Sidereal Astrology. Uranus will rule Aquarius, Sidereal, but the tropical Pisces. And Mars, you already know, will rule Sidereal Scorpion Aries, but in tropical Taurus and Sagittarius. So people related to those ascendants may go into all kinds of unexpected and challenging situations, including psychological crisis of some sort. The North Node, for instance, the ancient authors are describing every planet in relation to the nodes like being like eaten or falling with modern description in a black hole. Why is that? The North Node is called the head of the dragon, and you know the head of the dragon has a jaw, and in this way represents a situation that is challenging. So Uranus and Mars can find themselves, and those planets, people that are ruled by those planets, they can find themselves in challenging situation. What I can only tell those people is to have more spiritual work like meditation, prayer for some time. And of course, to be careful, not to stay in their homes, but to be careful. And those aspects. So for instance, by the way, Mars with the node is having a little bit more special connection. Mars with the node can represent some sort of victory. In this case, having in mind what's happening, it can be a time of someone's military victory. Yeah. As Uranus is involved, I will bet that this will be a victory of the people who are trying to be free. But also it can be one of the most difficult moments, of course, in military actions. So, of course, this can be a topic of 5-6 videos, this conjunction.
Yeah.
So it is coming. It is coming. It's, however, the factors are not like very beneficial in nature. I mean that everybody, the North Node, Uranus, and Mars, they can be related to events that are not easy. This mixture, however, also can mean that different factors that are difficult will extinguish themselves or each other. So for the rest of people who are not much related, this can be even good somehow. So destructive processes that are actually bringing good results. Let's say it like this. And especially with the military moment, we will see who is the strongest. As far as the other positions are good, especially those of Jupiter and Saturn, no matter what is happening, we can always rely that the planets Jupiter and Saturn, which are related to also to people who have a lot of power, and also in general to the biggest trends, they will be helping so that the world have more balance. Because if Jupiter or Saturn are not in their respective places, and if they are in places that are not good for them, the situation will be much more challenging. This is also helping for the markets too. For instance, the Jupiter situation in its own sign is helping for the markets because it brings more balance. Even though we cannot think exactly how this is happening always, we cannot see it always, but this influence of Jupiter is definitely there. Now let's talk about Jupiter a little bit. Jupiter, the entire month stays in one place. Jupiter stays in one and the same degree the entire month. So people who are ruled by Jupiter, you already know who are they. They can feel a little bit that they stay in one place in their lives and they are forced to reconsider everything in their lives. But also, if they have some positive connections in their charts with this degree, or anybody who has it will be extremely positive for them, of course. So if anybody has something in those watery places, I mean, for instance, 13 degrees and some minutes in Pisces, or the same degree in Scorpio and Cancer, this will be extremely good time for them. In tropical signs, of course, is different. It is the 8th degree of all fiery signs. This is in tropical. If you have something very close to the 8th degree in whatever fiery sign, in tropical astrology, Jupiter is aspecting you very closely at this time, and you have really good improvement in different areas. So, however, Jupiter makes so before he becomes retrograde. In other words, even though Jupiter is very positive in Pisces, right now he's preparing to hold back his positive energy and to use it for reassessment of the current situations, to show the truth to everybody and to make everybody to act according to that higher type of truth. So if someone has a situation in his life that he misses to act in the right way, or he forgets that there are moral dilemmas that are unresolved, Jupiter now will do so that everybody see this and to have the opportunities to resolve this situation. So in a way, we do not have then direct progress, but it's more on an inner level first. But on this depends the future progress. So it's very important for us to see what Jupiter rules, where it is moving, so as to where we have to focus a little bit with more understanding. And then we can expect, in other words, the good influence of Jupiter to go back in the material world in the middle of November, when he becomes direct. Until then is this time of retrospection, so to say. It starts in the end of the month, but we will feel it already, little by little. That's why when I'm discussing transits of planets, for instance, I always give the prediction for people that the positive, the results expressed in the material world, in the real results, will be when Jupiter is after his retrograde phase. Because now Jupiter is in someone's house or place in the horoscope, and people expect something good to happen very fast. But actually, first we have this preparation phase, and then we have the effective phase, which is, however, coming in November. So again, Jupiter gives a sign like Mars that we will enter a time that is a little bit different. The best time is till the middle of July. Again, the best time of the year. There is no
It's
better
like
time
the
in the entire
quiet
year.
before the storm.
So just do everything that you want to do right now.
Go.
And so the same holds for Saturn. Saturn is already retrograde till October. So now let's go a little bit more into detail, so to say. There are very interesting moments this month. For instance, after 2 days, 7th of July, Venus will align with the star of financial luck. Okay? After 2 days, if you start new business project, the probability to be financially successful is much higher than in other times, especially if this project is related somehow to things like art or therapy, or every profession that is creating balance, harmony, and beauty. So it is there. Venus is aligning only in 2 days. Venus will align also with another lucky star financially on the 14th of July. So the same holds true on the 14th of July. And also this is, I guess, people who are starting their new relationships on this on those days will be somehow more lucky.
Hello, you cut off. Hello. Is it me or? Ah. Hello. Guys, can you see me? Hello. I'm waiting for Trifon to come back. Sorry, guys. Just a second. I think maybe his internet dropped off. Yep, he's not answering on Skype either. Hello. I guess if he doesn't come back, we'll wrap it up. You heard some of the major predictions. And yeah, I'm just waiting 30 more seconds. 1 more minute, just a second. Oh, you're back?
Yes, I am. So
okay, carry on. Yeah.
Okay, so I was talking about Mars the last time. So Mars is aligning with this star in Aries, which the ancients are saying is very unlucky star. The truth is this star is with the nature of Saturn and Mars, and the ancients are accusing this star of violence of all kinds. Okay, people be more careful. Probabilities of bad events. What?
When exactly was that?
8th and 9th of July. Depends where you live. Is the conjunction, so the probability of violence of all sorts is there, especially if it is related to women, I guess. This is what the texts are saying. So these are not so good days exactly about this, but the rest of the days are actually positive. 11th of July, Venus is again aligned with the fortunate lucky star about finances. So 11th of July, it's a good time. Mercury will relate to the star Sirius, which is a star of leadership, but also spirituality, the brightest star in the sky. Okay. People can have different sorts of revelations, understanding about the world, fortunate events. It's very good for their development, especially those related to Mercury, of course. But Mercury is a planet of all people, after all, because it rules those signs that are with human shape. Which are those? Of course, Gemini and Virgo, the only ones who have human figures. So this conjunction and every movement of Mercury is related to all of humanity. This is what also the ancient texts are saying, by the way. If we have an eclipse in either Gemini or Virgo, they say this afflicts humanity directly. If it is in Taurus, it can afflict, the coals and so on. So Venus, by the way, enters the sign of Gemini, 13th of July, and this will actually be good for people in general, and will be good for social life and traveling in general for people. Then if you have to mark where in the month things are changing from this really good trend, this is when the Sun and Mercury change signs. 16th of July, they move from Gemini in Sidereal to Cancer in Sidereal, making at the same time a conjunction. Mercury and the Sun make a conjunction, which is very positive for people ruled by Mercury. It can be good for all kinds of signing contracts and intellectual activity also. But from this moment forward in time, the Sun and Mercury, they will be in Cancer, and we will have this situation where they are in Cancer, but Mars is in Aries and Saturn is in Capricorn. So Mars is making a challenging aspect to Cancer, a square, and Saturn also is making a challenging aspect to Cancer, which is an opposition. So in other words, the Sun and Mercury will start to move towards those challenging aspects of Mars and Saturn. And slowly, the situation will become different, more challenging. For instance, on the 26th of July, Mercury will make a square with Mars. And on the 30th of July, Mercury will make an opposition to Saturn. Of course, on those days and the previous 1-2 days, it's not so good already to travel, it's not so good to sign contracts. People can have more challenging situations. The probability of deception or road accident is higher, and so on. Psychologically also is not so positive on those days, of course. On the 28th of July, Mercury will make a square with the nodes, with the south node and the north node, which is again like this. So people who are ruled by Mercury, we can see that they will have much more different situation after 20th of July. This includes also even the person that is speaking now. And then the Sun also will head towards those aspects, but the Sun will reach those aspects next month. First Mercury, But with this movement, we see the changing situation. However, there are positive things going on still, even with those aspects of Mercury. For instance, Venus will make a square to Jupiter on the 24th of July. So this can be a time of great party, but also people can ask, they can be asked in their life somehow, from life itself, maybe, about their evaluation of the spiritual and material things and what is prevalent for them. So those days will be interesting, having good side and a little negative side also when Venus and Jupiter make this square, and people can go into extremes also under this aspect. But mostly it's positive, of course. Then on the 31st of July, the Sun will make, at the time when, you know, this conjunction is happening with between Uranus, Mars, and the North Node. In the same time, the Sun will make a trine to Jupiter, 31st of July. So whatever happens on this day, for people related to Uranus and Mars, those that are ruled by Jupiter and the Sun, they will thrive. In general, it's also a good day, not only challenging. And on the 2nd of August, we have Venus and Mars aligning to each other with a sextile. Venus in Gemini with Mars in Aries. This is a good aspect, of course, about love, in short. So the hot summer is there. The hottest moment, maybe 2nd of August. And also between 27th of July and 30th of July, the moon will be invisible. So 27th of July till 30th of July. People in general, when the moon becomes invisible, are more tired, exhausted. Is the best time of the month to rest a little bit more. If you try to do many things or new things, they will probably be not successful, and you will just exhaust yourself a lot. So better not to make new things, but just to have some rest in this month, in those days. Just saying. Then from the 30th of July is different. Positive trends already again appears. And so I think these are like the most important things that you need to know, at least according to what I have checked about the future positions coming. So 2 halves, the month of two halves, positive first half and changing towards not so positive, but mostly still okay second half.
Thank you very much.
With the trend of August being like more challenging, but we will be talking about it again. You already know something about Mars in Taurus coming.
Thank you again for giving us from your time. Thank you everyone for joining us for the live. And those of you who are watching it after that, and if you'd like to connect with Trifon, I'll put the link below for his 2 discounted readings, 12 months prediction and financial horoscope, which he's offering this month. So thank you again. Have a blessed July.
Thank you, everybody. Enjoy your summer. See you next time.